Hi guys, how is everybody's Monday? Welcome to another Monday live stream, and I'm actually in a really good mood today, but even though today's topic is a little bit heavier than usual, I hope that you guys are all enjoying the long weekend if you are having a long weekend. So today's topic is going to be on how to get out of depression. This is something that I have personally dealt with. It took me about a year and a half to really get out of it, and the bulk of the really tough stuff I would say happened between the first and like 1 to 3 months. And also, if you guys will let me know in the live chat that you guys are able to see this, that would be awesome. Hopefully everything is working right now. So I'm going to actually be breaking down this into 3 different parts. It's going to be, I'm going to talk about what depression actually is, and then I'm going to be talking about the strategies that I implemented that helped me get out of it, and then lastly I'm going to talk about how to recover from it. So it's kind of going to be like our talk last time, what we did on anxiety, except this is going to be specifically to depression. I wanted to break it down for you because I felt like that really worked well for you guys to be able to interact and all of that. Oh my gosh, hi Sophia, hi guys. And what I also am going to do again is pause in between each segment so that I can answer any of the questions that are going on in the live chat. And as always, please make sure that you guys, if you feel like share in the live chat if you've ever gone through depression. If you have, actually just right now, just put in the live chat or leave a comment if you're watching this later with an emoji of the hand raised up, because I think this is something that a lot of people go through, and it's not just something that we should just sweep under the rug. Okay, so first of all, what is depression? So I want to say that, look, I'm not a doctor, not a therapist. I can't give you the medical definition of depression and all of that. I'm sure you could just look that up. But what depression was for me, and for I think a lot of people, is when something happens in your life that kind of just turns your entire reality upside down. For me personally, it was a breakup. So I was in a relationship for 7.5 years, and those of you who have been following me on social media probably know this, and I've only pretty recently started becoming more open about talking about this because it was so difficult for me to get past, and a lot of times when I talk about it, I still get emotional because that was such a big part of my life. So whatever it is that is happening to you or happened in your life that caused your reality to completely just shift upside down, and then you kind of question everything, I would consider that's probably depression, especially if it comes up in the sense where you're not able to have any motivation to do anything, you're sad all the time. Some symptoms would be like crying. I would say loss of appetite definitely happened for me. Basically, you kind of just, I want to say it almost feels like being a robot. To be honest, that's kind of how it felt for me. And depression, I think, is also what you would consider living in the past. So you're always ruminating and having thoughts about what could have been or what should have happened or how I could have fixed it. And that's definitely, where I was at. So I also had absolutely no motivation, and I felt like I was living in an alternative reality. I really didn't feel like myself. I really didn't understand anything that was going on, and I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I ended up losing something I'd say 10 pounds in about a week because I just literally could not eat. Eating made me feel sad, and I remember sitting over there on my dining table and looking at my food and just feeling so sad. And the couch behind me that you guys see, I spent many evenings and days just crying on that couch and not leaving it, and that was really difficult. So that's kind of how it showed up for me. And for those of you who have gone through depression, I would love it if you left a comment and let me know and let everybody else know what it was kind of like for you, what symptoms you experienced, because I think that we all experience things very differently, and that's totally okay. And we should talk about these things because it's a very human thing, and it's very, I would say, normal, because a lot of people experience things. We go through life thinking that we have, you know, it's supposed to look a certain way, and then it doesn't, and we're trying to control it, and it's like, why are we trying to control it? I mean, I've learned so much since then, and I have to say also, like, depression doesn't mean that it's something that only happens to you once. It could be something that happens to you and it's always kind of there, and that's okay too. It's just that you get better at dealing with it. You get better at coping with it. For me, for instance, every single month right before my period, because of hormones or whatever it is, probably because of hormones, I experience a lot of sadness, and I experience what seems like depression, and I will cry, and I will like question everything again, and my mind will kind of just spiral into this crazy thing. And so when that happens to me, I know that I need more positive coping mechanisms and implement those back into place. And a lot of times, to just help with the hormones, I also take maca powder. I also have a video up on cycles syncing to the moon. It's a little bit hippie woo-woo, but I talk about how I've done that and how that maca powder and syncing my cycle has helped. So that is part one. That is what I would consider depression and what it was like for me. And before I jump into part two, I'm going to kind of go through your comments. So Abigail and Rukia have raised their hands. Hi, Justin. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining. So, you know, we're not alone in this. And thank you, Sophia. So sweet. Okay, so Abigail says, for me, I was continuously sad, but my tipping point was the part when I couldn't feel anything anymore. I felt numb no matter what happens in the outside world. Wow, I understand that. I've had moments of that too. Ashley says, yes, you're right. I've been there, just like you described. Yasmin says, I would listen to music very loudly with my headphones and binge eat. I'm still going through depression. It sucks, but I'm doing my best. Ashley said, I've had depression for 10 years. Rukia said, I didn't leave bed much and my sleep schedule was all over the place. I didn't have the motivation to do anything or feel happy or fix anything. It's like an overwhelming urge to just shut down. Okay, so with that said, first of all, Yasmin, you brought up a really good point. So for me, when it comes to depression, it can go two ways. Either I eat absolutely nothing or I also binge eat. So a lot of my issues would also kick up when I have depression. I would be more inclined to binge eat or binge and purge and get stuck in one of those cycles. And, you know, a routine of mine while I was going through that depression was literally laying on that couch and like letting Netflix play because I couldn't be alone at my apartment and I would have to have some type of noise in order for me to sleep. And I spent probably like months sleeping on my couch instead of in my bed. And you guys, my bed is amazing. Like, I love my bed. It's like memory foam bed and it's so comfortable. But I spent, you know, so much time sleeping on that couch because that was the only place that I didn't feel as alone and I had noise and all of that. And I also want to tell you guys that because I want to be really real with you guys, and this is kind of hard to talk about, I've had moments where I was suicidal, and this is the first time I'm ever like saying that out loud to you guys, but I really believe in being honest, and I really believe in sharing like the struggles that I've gone through with you guys, because I want you to know that you're not alone. And those moments were really, really scary. And yes, it is absolutely okay to cry, always. And I remember one of those moments, like I was struggling so hard to reach out to people because I just felt so alone. And I honestly, I never got to the point where I, you know, would either, you know, cut myself or, you know, take pills or anything like that. I wasn't brave enough to do that, but I do remember having moments while I was driving and thinking about, well, what if I just drove off the cliff? Then maybe I wouldn't feel anything anymore. And I've had those moments, you guys. That was very, like, that happened to me. And it's really scary because I never thought that I could ever have moments like that, but I did. And even thinking about it now, it's like, I think about it and I'm like, wow, like, if I had died during that moment, I would have never experienced all of the things that have brought me to the place that I am today, because my life is so much more amazing. And so I want you guys to know that if you are feeling like you're at rock bottom, you can get out of it, because I did. Like, it's possible. And after my breakup, you guys, I had no friends. I had no friends. So it was not only like losing my best friend, but I had no friends to support me while I was going through this depression. And I was just lucky enough that I had one of my girlfriends, who I've known since I was 15, and she ended up collaborating with me on a bunch of stuff, and she really helped me through a lot of it, and so did my cousin Tim. And I had the two of them and my little sister, and I was lucky that I had that. But I was someone that would never even cry in front of my family because I was like, oh, no big deal. And suddenly I was this person just crying all the time. I scared the crap out of my mom because of this. And she thought that she needed to take me to like a mental institution because I had completely lost it. And, you know, that's real, you guys. Like, that's what happened to me. And I'm sharing this because I want every single one of you to know that you're not alone, and I've been through it, and you can get to a better place, and it's really, really, really possible. So, okay, I want to also now just talk about the strategies and stuff that like helped me through it. And if you guys have any strategies at all, please feel free to share it in the live chat as I'm going through things, because, you know, some of these things may work for you and some of these things may not, because we're all different. We're completely different, and that's okay. So I want to say with depression, the one thing that I learned above everything else that I want every single one of you guys to take away from this, whether you are someone who is going through depression or you know someone else who is going through depression and you want to help them, whatever it is that the number one thing that I've learned is that you cannot wait for the motivation to come. You have to just go do. And it sucks because when you're in depression, you have no motivation to do anything. You literally want to do nothing, but you have to go do. You do, and don't worry about the motivation coming, because honestly, most of the time, it's never going to come. And the other strategies that are more practical that I want to talk to you guys about is journaling. So I see that journaling is something that you guys have mentioned already, and I actually wanted to show you guys my journal because I wanted this to be really personal, and this is a very, very personal video for me, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So this is my journal that I used for that year and a half that I experienced depression, and the entire thing is filled up, and I have another journal now, but it's all freaking filled up. And at the beginning of it, one of the things that I really recommend that you do is to set goals for yourself. I did this, and I'll read you some of my goals, and I will say that my goals were, I think I purposely made them hard for myself because I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to do that so that after I accomplished those goals, I would be really, really proud and be like, holy shit, I did that. And pardon my French, but seriously. So one of the goals was to read poetry at an open mic night. And I did that. That was freaking scary. But that actually led to me collaborating with someone on a song, and I wrote a song. And that will eventually come out at some point if you guys want to hear it. I think I might do a music video on it. But I wrote a song, and all of the writing that's now being posted on my Instagram, a lot of it is from all that time that I went through depression. Some of it is current, but a lot of it that you guys will eventually probably see, whether I make it into a book or just post it on Instagram or both, is from that time in my life. And yeah, so read poetry at an open mic night, go to 5 events by yourself, because I had this thing where I was just like, I'm gonna do 5 of everything, because even if I don't accomplish all 5, at least doing it once I would have accomplished something. So and I wrote here the things that I did. So I went to a vegan potluck by myself, because at the time I was trying out the vegan diet. I went to a juice shop by myself. I went to a party by myself. I went to the beach by myself. I went to Whole Foods by myself. But I was never used to doing things alone. And so I guess I forced myself to do that. And I listed them here too, just because that was my way of keeping myself accountable. One of my other goals was to learn how to start conversations with people, because I guess I didn't know how to do that. Have a solid exercise routine. It says meet 5 people from different walks of life. And this was something that was really interesting to me, because for, you know, the majority of my relationship, I didn't meet a lot of new people or make new friends, and I didn't take the time to do that. So I really, really wanted to do that. And so I, decided meet different people, get out of my comfort zone. I think that was the key to all of it. Make 5 groups of friends, which was really something I needed to do, because I never had a close group of friends. And now, honestly, you guys, the people in my life are just, like, they're incredible. They support me in ways that I never thought that people could support me. And I never thought that people could be so full of love. And I never thought that. And they exist. And you guys are those people too, because you guys have gotten me through so much of this without even knowing. Even though I didn't share this while I was going through it, I mean, just having your support has been absolutely incredible. So yeah, now I have a lot of groups of friends. So if you are starting from rock bottom and you don't have friends, I'm telling you now, like, just go out there, put yourself out there, and it'll happen. All of these people have only been my friends for a year at most, some less than a year, and magical, wonderful people exist. You guys are all magical and wonderful, and you're just going to attract more of that, and I really, really believe that. So those are some of the things that I wrote in my journal. So journaling really, really helped me. I think talking to people also really helped me. Personally, for me, I want to give you guys as much self-help stuff as possible, because I didn't have money to go to therapy. I didn't have money to spend $150 on an hour session at a therapist. I didn't have that. And that's why I want to provide you guys with all the tools to heal yourself, because I really believe that you could do that, because that's what I did. So I know that it's possible. Also, art therapy. And this is another thing that I want to show you guys. So this is my little art notebook. When I was in Paris with my cousin while I was going through depression, and he is an artist. He's the one that designed the AVOCADO t-shirts, which, by the way, I will link that below for you guys. If you guys want to support and buy an AVOCADO t-shirt, any of the funds that I end up making for those t-shirts is going to help sustain my life, which would be incredible, because you guys know that I'm trying really hard to make a career out of doing good and helping people in this world. So if you do buy a t-shirt, that would be amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you in advance already. But he's the one that designed the t-shirts, and he's the one that told me that art doesn't have to be anything. You just create to create. And so while I was in Paris, these are some of the things that I drew and created. And it was just, he was like, just anything. It doesn't have to be like beautiful or perfect. And there's actually one right here that was really, really angry that I want to show you guys. Yeah, that one was really, really angry. And I don't know, just a lot of really random things that I drew. My cousin and I, so this one is one of my favorites. It's just a cup of tea, and it says Earl Grey, because my cousin makes the best Earl Grey lattes, and that's something that is kind of us, where he would make me tea lattes, and then we would sit down and talk for hours. So it's kind of amazing, and a lot of other stuff, you know, but he basically taught me that you just create. It doesn't have to be anything. So art therapy really helped. Music therapy also really helped me. I told you guys earlier that I wrote a song, but listening to music also was really helpful, especially music that felt like that person understood the stuff that I was going through. So I listened to a lot of Shawn Mendes, a lot of Sam Smith, a lot of Ed Sheeran, and some Charlie Puth. So those are the people that I listen to for music therapy. And also, you know, meditation helped me a lot. Meditating has been amazing for me, and just sitting there, it doesn't have to be anything. You could just sit there for 10 minutes. I like to do it outside on my balcony towards the sun, or sometimes in my bedroom at night, and it just sitting there and just being very, very present. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Another thing that was really interesting, I don't know if you guys are into hippie stuff, but if you are, or if you're not, it's all good. So for people who are in depression, a lot of times we have to come back to ourselves and really love ourselves and take care of ourselves. And so for a while, I was really drawn to rose quartz, which is a crystal or stone that is known for love and self-love and healing. And literally, I bought all of these things with the exception of this one. This one I received as a gift. And they all have rose quartz on them. And this was before I even knew what the heck they represented or what they meant. And I literally was collecting rose quartz everywhere. This one I even got in Hong Kong. So I don't know. If you're into that kind of stuff, maybe crystals will help you. Also, yoga really helped me, or just, I guess, exercising, because you release positive endorphins. And anything that really moves you really helps. Books also really help, self-help books. I also have a couple blog posts up if you guys want to read about self-help. I did basically my 7 strategies dealing with anxiety, depression, and trauma. So that's up on my blog, which is lovehealthok.com, and I'll link it in the description box so that you guys can have it. And those things really, really have helped me, and also having a really strong support system. And this is what I'm trying to create for you guys. And I love that the live chat, you guys are so supportive of one another. And you guys use the hashtag, which I will type, Live and Learn Army, Live and Learn Army. On Instagram, you guys can connect with each other, and it has 600 posts now, which is incredible. So if you guys ever update your Instagram or anything like that, please use that hashtag so that you guys can continue to connect with each other and support one another, because that would be absolutely incredible. And one of the other things that I want to talk to you guys about, because this is probably a good time to talk about it, is that I'm doing my very first workshop intensive at the end of this month. It's July 22nd and 23rd in Los Angeles. It's actually at a beachfront estate in Ranchos Palos Verdes. This place is incredible. It's like a mansion. It is a mansion. It's not like a mansion. It is a mansion. And it has a beautiful outdoor area where there's also like a circle for meditation and stuff. And the entire view is just of the ocean. And this is something that I've spent the last 3 months planning. And it's only going to be 15 people, because I basically want to utilize all the strategies that I use to help me through all of these things to give back to you guys and cultivate that community in real life. The tickets are on sale, and I'll link in the description box below. And I also want to let you guys know, because if you're part of this live stream, I feel like this might be something that you would resonate with, and for you guys only, because I love you guys and I want to help you guys. If you use the code You're Not Alone, and I put it in the description box, you get $125 off a ticket. And everywhere else that I've ever given discount codes, it's only $100 off. But specifically for you guys, because I feel like this is where the community is, I want to do a little bit extra for you guys. So I want to talk about that a little bit more too. It's a really scary thing because I'm nervous that nobody is going to come. It's 15 people, and actually the people helping me with the workshops are the people that helped heal me through all of this. Like, they're the incredible people that did it, and this is what I want to put back in the world. And I really, really hope that I could sustain my life doing this, and I really hope that people are going to support it. And I have no idea if they are or they're not, but I literally poured my entire heart into this to like plan something so that, you know, I can help people, and I really hope that it helps. So I did want to say that really quick in case any of you guys are in Los Angeles at that time and you want to come. That would be incredible because I would love to meet you, and I would appreciate the support so much. Okay, so with that said, before moving on to the last segment of how to recover fully from depression, I'm going to go through the live chat again and kind of like read through some of your comments. So, my gosh, there's so much going on. You guys are incredible. Okay, Amitef, if you broke up with your boyfriend 2 months ago, I'm so sorry. Like, that sucks. I understand that. And just know that it does get better. You know, I'm a firm believer that if you do set those goals and do it for yourself, like, it will happen. Life does get better. Hi Cassie, both of my best friends have depression. It was so hard to watch their pain. It manifested in myself as well, and I adapted to possess self-deprecating thoughts. Yeah, it could be really, really tough being around people that have it, and sometimes you have to be very protective of yourself. Ashley says, yes, it was so hard watching my family watch me because they didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, my family too. It was harder for me to admit it to my family than it was to admit it to myself, because I didn't want them to worry or stress out. But know that people who love you are going to support you through it, and if they can't support you through it, you will be able to find people that will be able to, and there will be people that can. Like, just know that, because I didn't have them. Like, I didn't, and that now I have a lot of them. And it's not supposed to sound like bragging or anything like that. It's supposed to sound like I was at rock bottom, and when you do all of these things for yourself, you can get out of it, and you can find those people who are going to support you and make sure that you don't go down there ever again. Or if you do, they can help you through it. Sophia says, it's really important to know where depression came from. When I didn't know why I wanted to literally exit my life, it was really difficult to just feel so numb, sad, and down all the time. That's so true. But then when I realized why I had to be in the place, I felt so mad about the external sources that gave me depression. Abigail says, changing the environment. One thing I do want to say about Sophia's is that you're entitled to feel all of those feelings. I just posted yesterday that this quote that I wrote, where it's, you are basically allowed to feel all of your feelings without anyone else justifying it, not even yourself. Feelings are normal. Whether you're angry, you're sad, you're happy, whatever it is, they're all normal. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Meditation, yoga, yes. Making new friends. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you. I just started having a panic attack since a week ago, and it's so hard because I want to be happy. I just don't know how to, because all I could think about is my next panic attack. Okay. So if you're having panic attacks, I did a video on anxiety 2 weeks ago. That one might help you a lot. I've had like 2 panic attacks in my life. The first one, I didn't even know it was happening. The second one, I was able to handle it. And I think it's knowing where it comes from and figuring out where it comes from, and all the details of that I talked about in that video. So go watch that. I really hope that helps you. Okay. So moving on to part 3 is how to recover from depression. So I think when it comes to this, it was a multitude of all of those things that I talked about earlier, and doing all of those things over time. It took me 1.5 years, and maybe it would have been faster. The bulk of it happened, like I said, for about the first month. I would cry literally every day and couldn't do anything, and my friends and my family had to get me to eat and had to get me to do things, and it was a really, really tough time. And then I started building my life from that point on, and it was also still really hard for the first 3 months, I would say. And after that, it gradually, I got, moments of happiness and moments of like still depression and like in and out of that. And I say 1.5 years because it really took me 1.5 years to not go to that deep, dark place. Because even though for the most part, or not even the most part, but it depends on the month or the time, where I would be happy, I would still end up dipping so low right back into the rock bottom. And it happened over and over and over for 1.5 years because I was dealing not only with the loss of that relationship, but other losses in my life as well. And it just kept happening. That was a few months, I think, after that happened. My aunt got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and that was really, really hard. So that really caused a lot of it to kick back up. So it was dealing with that, and then someone passed away, and it was dealing with that. So it was kind of just like this snowball of getting myself up a little bit and then dipping right back down, and then going up a little bit more and coming back down. And just know that it's okay if that happens. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you're somebody who needs a therapist or wants to see a psychologist or anything like that, that's okay too. Whatever help you need. There's a book called Feeling Good that really also helps. It helps you strategize why you're feeling certain ways and which of your thoughts are positive and negative and what are not for you to believe in. And I think it's only $8 on Amazon. So that book also really helps. And I put it up on my blog already in one of the posts if you guys want to check that out. But I think really what I talked about earlier is, you really, really have to do things, create those goals, and just do them. Not wait for the motivation to come. It's going to have to be one of those things where you're going to have to like kick your butt off of the couch and go out there and live your life. And it only gets better the more that you live it. And it sucks because I know you absolutely do not want to do that. And I still have days where I don't want to do any of that because I just want to sit on the couch and lay there and like have Netflix playing while I like cuddle up and pretend that the rest of the world doesn't exist, because it's easier to just do that and not interact with people. But what I've realized is that when I go out there and I interact with people and have new experiences, that actually makes me happy. And it makes me proud that I'm doing those things. And so you need to do those things. And you really have to get to a point where you're creating a life that you love. You don't have to love every moment of it, but you have to start creating in the sense of taking care of yourself, in the sense of loving yourself, in the sense of creating that life that you really, really are going to enjoy living. And it doesn't have to be perfect ever, you guys. Never. And to really just be present in the moment, because depression is all about the past. It's all about what has previously happened. All about like, oh my God, I lost that person. Am I ever going to love again? Or, oh my God, like I'm never going to see that person again. Or, oh my God, this happened to me. And that's all in the past. Anxiety is all about future thinking. But if we're really, really present, that is how we get through things. And part of being present is going out there and doing things and really, really living. Even when you don't want to, even when you're struggling with it. Don't wait for that moment to be like, oh yeah, like, I feel like going to yoga today. No, just go to yoga. Like, don't wait for it, because it's not going to come. You're going to end up talking yourself out of it, because, I've done this enough times to know that. And anytime that you stray away from self-care and self-love, know that that's okay too, to be gentle with yourself and just bring yourself back. Implement those little practices again, buy yourself flowers, go and buy yourself some bath bombs, take a really nice bath. All of those little things, just because you stray away from them for a little bit, doesn't mean that you can't bring yourself back. You always can. There's no black and white about it. It's gray. There are times and there are days where I still feel depression. And I'm telling you guys that. I still feel it, especially the week before my cycle. I don't know why, but probably because of the hormones. But I do feel it, and I'll have days like that. But now I'm just much better at coping and getting through it. And I'm not, on the floor, like bawling my eyes out every single day. But it does happen sometimes, and that's okay. I cry in traffic. I yell in traffic, I scream in traffic, you know, stuff like that I think is very normal, and we have to accept that we are allowed to have our feelings no matter what, and we shouldn't judge ourselves just because we think other people are going to judge us. Maybe they are, but you know what? That's about them. If we need to release those feelings, then we release it. And if you're not comfortable with that, then maybe wait until you're in a safe space. Wait until you're at home. Wait until, like, you know, for me in the car, no one can hear me with the windows up and the music blasting, so it's fine. You know, and it's funny, but it's real. That's what is absolutely real. Okay, so now I want to give you guys the goal of the week, and I want you guys to literally do this right after this video and use the hashtag #LiveAndLearnArmy, because I want you guys to be able to connect and keep in touch with each other. And I love this goal because it's almost the complete opposite of what we're talking about. And I want you to post a picture of something that makes you happy. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a mug, you know, it could be a rock. It could be some rose quartz. It could be a photo of your sister, of your best friend, of your family, of your dog, because dog photos are amazing. And of course, I want to encourage all of you guys to go around and like and comment on each other's photos so that we could create this community and keep creating it. And I'm going to be doing that as well, so I'll be coming to creep you guys like I usually do, because I think that's really important. I want you guys to know that I'm one of you. I am always going to be one of you, and I feel really, really grateful that I get to be the voice of this amazing community that wants to help other people and that wants to get better and do more good in the world. That is incredible. And I also want to say that I am so grateful for you guys, and you know, it's been amazing, and I appreciate all of your support, whether or not you can come to my intensives or whether or not you can buy a t-shirt. But if you do, like, that would mean the world to me, because I'm so scared that this isn't gonna work, but I don't care. I'm still gonna do it because it's important. You know, money doesn't come first for me, helping people does, and I really hope that by helping other people, I can become supported in a way that I can sustain my life. So that is what I wanted to say. I'm gonna go through some more of the comments, and then if you guys have any last minute questions, I'm happy to answer those questions. And yeah, so let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys are so supportive of each other. It's incredible. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. NCTBTS Pink says, honestly, it comes back and forth for me, but I try to find different things to do every day. I like to go swimming, and I started working out, and it's helping. I try to stay optimistic too. Yes, that's incredible. Just know also certain things are going to work at certain times and other things are not going to work, and it's all about finding different things that work or don't work and shifting. Remember, like, it's okay if it's not perfect. It's totally okay. Oh my gosh, look at you guys making friends. I love this. Sophia and Abigail, you guys are adorable. Abigail says, me too. I woke up today feeling down without knowing why, and this video is helping me right now. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you're welcome. I get those, you know, moments too where I wake up and I'm like, today is gonna suck, you know? And then I just try to do my morning routine and get through it, and that's usually really helpful. And then today my sister's gonna come over and I'm making her dinner. So I think also being of service to other people and helping other people really has helped me stay afloat too. I ended up writing my second book during my depression. I shared to say if I wouldn't have pushed myself, I don't know where I'd be on the other side of finishing the book. That's amazing. I am trying to write a book too, with all of the lessons and things that I've learned, more of a poetry book, so hopefully you guys will support that when that comes out. Thank you so much, Abigail. You're so sweet. Thank you. My life, as Andrew says, for some people it isn't really easy. How do you deal with family issues that are constantly happening? Okay, that's really, really tough, because for me, I went through some really tough family issues in my since I was like 10 to like when I was 18, and that's really hard because it's a constant thing. My best advice for that is try to understand and try to separate yourself from it and understand that that's what they're going through. And anything anyone else does has nothing to do with you, and it's about them. So just know that. It's not easy though. That's so hard when you're in the middle of all of that, but know that I'm sending you so much love and you have my support, and I wish you all the best. And know that even when all of that stuff does happen, you can get to a better place. I promise. Yasmin says, my depression tends to get worse before my period starts. How do you deal with that? Depression before a menstrual cycle is a pain that still lingers. So all of us have that. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Okay, I'm going to type in maca powder, y'all. Maca powder. I take maca powder the week before my cycle. And that helps a lot. I did a video, if you just go back on my channel after this, it is cycle syncing to the moon, and it's a little hippie woo-woo, but that's all the stuff that I did that really helped with my depression the week before my menstrual cycle. Okay. Helping and being kind to other people helps me be kind to myself as well. Yes, you have to be kind to yourself. What are your stress relievers? Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, Andrea. Stress relievers, all of the things that I talked about earlier in this video, definitely yoga, journaling, art therapy, music therapy. Sometimes it's running. Do intuitively what your body feels like it wants to do. One of the other things that I find really, really helps, oh my gosh, that I forgot to show you guys, that I have to show you. I was watching Grey's Anatomy, and that was one of the shows that I watched a lot when I was going through depression. But moving your body, because emotions get stuck in our bodies, and I'll probably do another video on this or a blog post on this about emotions getting stuck in your body. Mine tends to be a lot in my hips. So blasting music and dancing around and like wailing your arms like a crazy person, or just jumping up and down, screaming and punching pillows and all of that, just moving however your body wants to move really, really helps. But on last night's episode, they did this. She had just lost somebody. I don't want to say who, so you'll just figure it out. And instead of crying, because two of them were on the couch, like, you know, really sad and upset and crying, one of them got everybody else up and danced around. And when you do that, you're releasing emotions and you're letting things flow. And that's really helpful. Also, being in nature is really helpful, going to the beach or going to a mountain. Yeah, sitting at a park, anything that you can really just sit and be fully present in the moment is really going to help you with stress. Yeah, so I'm going to hop off of here now because it's been almost 45 minutes, which is incredible. You guys, please, if you feel called to, I would really appreciate if you could either come to my retreat or grab a t-shirt. I think t-shirts right now are only $25, so it's not super expensive if you can't afford to come to the workshop. The workshop right now, usually one ticket is $599, but it's $100 off, so it's $499. And then I'm giving you guys, and only you guys specifically, the code You're Not Alone for $125 off of that. So it should be about, I think, $375 for you guys. And I really hope that you guys come. So aside from that, the goal of the week, post on Instagram, and I will see you guys next Monday. I hope you guys have a really good long weekend. Happy July 4th to those of you who are in America, and I will see you guys on Instagram. Post what makes you happy. Live and Learn Army. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything. Mwah.